Very good. These are my disclosures. There is a number of devices we already heard from previous speakers to address the aortic arch, and they boil down to basically two type of approaches or design configurations. So single branch devices, I would say the main advantage is that they are relatively easy to be made into an off-the-shelf concept. They do provide a high-flow single vessel inflow, which potentially decrease arch manipulation, but no question their limitation that is key here is the need for cervical debranching, which we've done now for many, many years. These are safe operations. Having said that, we often underreport a very high rate of phrenic nerve injury, up to 25%. There are issues with neck hematoma, particularly if done in a single stage and it's a full cervical debranching. So there is the limitation of potential significant complications. With that said, the Gore thoracic branch endoprosthesis is the first one to receive FDA approval last year, around August of 2022, and over the last year there has been already over 1,100 implants. The pivotal trial included 289 patients, and the results have been remarkable for Zone 2. Zone 0, this has not been unveiled yet. But for Zone 2, you can see loss of patency 0 for the aneurysm cohort. Protection against rupture has been outstanding. The same thing for dissection cohort, only one occlusion among 132 patients. So very good results at 1 year. The Nexus concept, also with a smaller number of patients treated worldwide, it's another concept that has been utilized. The evolution of this technique clearly is going to go to a number of double and triple concepts, and the advantage of that would be the avoiding the cervical debranching, allowing potentially total percutaneous technique. But unquestionably, these procedures do require a great deal of arch manipulation, no matter how much we want to deny that. And there are two main concepts that have been utilized with branches, the Cook and the Terumo. They have similarities with respect to their diameters proximally distally. I'm not going to go into that. But not all the patients will be suitable for that. A number of these patients have very complex dissections extending to the supraortic trunks, and if not done correctly, this will lead to endoleaks and other issues. Some patients have, cabbage, lima grafts, or occlusion of targets that will require a double design. This is now a paper that has been out there for 3 years. The experience is much larger, but this already outlines in 39 patients the potential advantages of achieving in a high-risk group fairly low mortality. Stroke rate was 5%. Nonetheless, these were done at the time we were still doing cut downs in the neck, and 5 patients actually had hematomas that required exploration and early reinterventions, leading Stefan Hallon to do one of the first total percutaneous procedures that was done with a preloaded catheter, which allowed access to the left subclavian branch. And you can see here using a percutaneous transaxillary axis, which was borrowed from the thoracoabdominal experience, that allowed the placement of this larger stent for the innominate artery. We then published a total percutaneous transfemoral approach that was feasible because the patient had a previous cervical debranching and a stent, so that allows us to use lower profile stents for all the 3 vessels, and this was done again with a preloaded catheter in the most antegrade branch. I would say the technique has evolved, but now we do it slightly different. You can see on this one we snare the wire. It's a very short video, and in the interest of time, I'm going to have to jump this, but we snare a wire and allow a steerable sheath to be placed. In conclusion, all these devices are complementary. We need them all available. There's not a single solution, but the key factor is we need a filter, which we don't have it yet.